And this is the last video about rocks, and it's about metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks, I think, are pretty cool because they were one thing, and then they're under so much intense like heat or pressure that they actually metamorphosize or turn into something else completely. This is a pretty easy section for you. There aren't going to be a lot of questions from this. But with metamorphic rocks, you have foliated rocks that basically it forms in layers, and as it's compressed downward, it kind of lays down on its side. I didn't think that they did a good job here, and I knew I couldn't talk to it very well, so I actually found this animation to show you what that looks like. So check this out. That's what it looks like, and after a ton of pressure, it just gets crushed. And just like, you know, like laying down a bunch of like needles or whatever, it just like goes into these like aligned flat layers. So here's some igneous rock, some like granite or something, and then as it's compressed, it actually metamorphosizes into something else, and you can see it's compressed here. It's actually really pretty, I think. But let's move on to the non-foliated rocks. Non-foliated rocks are basically, they're the same thing. They're usually compressed, but they'll usually be blockier in shape and not have quite, you know, the lines that you see that are foliated. It'll just be blockier, and it's usually very expensive and really pretty with, you know, marble and quartzite and garnet. It's really pretty. And obviously all of those have huge uses in the construction industry. So there's different levels of metamorphism, and it depends on how much temperature and pressure is there, depends on the level of metamorphism. So if it's like a low grade metamorphism, then it's going to be like lower temperature and pressure. And so it's not going to really change the rock that much. So the value is not as high. High grade metamorphism is going to have a ton of pressure and heat, and that's going to really change the rock, and then it's going to actually be worth more. So where does this rock changing happen? Well, you can have it in like happen in different ways. One way is a regional metamorphism. That means like in certain spots, like depths of the earth or like places in the crust, there can be plates pushing plate boundaries, and it's basically pushing so hard in certain areas that just in that area you can have some rock metamorphism. Another way is to have contact metamorphism, meaning that something so hot came and touched it that it metamorphosized. So this is, you know, maybe molten lava or something. Another way that you can have the contact or metamorphism is from water. Basically, water coming up as steam and heat can be so hot. I don't know if you've ever burned yourself on some steam, but that can be so hot that it actually metamorphosizes the rock around it. So those are the main points that you need to know from metamorphic rock. And yeah, the main building materials and things that you use. Interestingly, metamorphic rock, one type is asbestos, and that's something that's now known to cause cancer, but it used to be used as a building material in houses because it wouldn't mess with your electrical cords and it wouldn't catch fire. So we built all houses and buildings using it, and then they decided it or realized it caused cancer, and so now they're like trying to take it out. And there's other things, but lead pencils are out of them. So anyways, it's a very important building material. Marble, you know, quartz is highly sought after. Okay, and that's it for Metamorphic Rocks.